Hi there, we're going to be making a mask by folding this piece of paper in half the long way. Then we're going to draw a curved line across and we're going to cut that out. Then, once we've got that cut out, we're going to cut the ends of the curve and then we're going to glue those ends together, forming just so you're taking the tips and gluing them together, and that's going to pop your mask out and make it more three-dimensional. Alright, so as you are gluing these ends, obviously you're going to have to be a little patient and hold the paper while the glue sets up for a few seconds, minute, whatever. Alright, then once you have that done, we're going to take the scraps of paper that we had. First write our name, yes. Okay, then we're going to take the scrap of paper, we're going to fold one of those in half, we're going to cut a triangle out of that, and the fold will obviously be the front of the nose. Put a little bit of glue on that and stick it on our mask, and we want to make sure that it is not flush with the mask, that it is popping out. We want it to be three-dimensional. Give a little pressure, a little glue, hold, and we got that done. Now we're going to make some lips. So I have folded my paper twice. I'm putting a little line on there, like a half M, unfolding it, and there is my lip shape. So I'll glue that on, get that set. Now I'm going to go to the eyes. So for the eyes, I'm making kind of a background shape at first by folding my paper in half, drawing it on, and cutting it. Then I'm going to cut that, the halfway fold off a little bit, and now when I unfold them like a book, I've got two exact shapes for the eye. Now I'm going to overlap that with white circles and overlap the white circles with black circles and glue those all together. And I'm going to have my mask looking off to the right, like it's looking for somebody suspicious. And then I'm going to glue those pieces on, and I want to glue my eyes right about where the nose starts. I don't want to glue them up too high. Now I'm going to do the eyelid, and so I'm cutting a half circle and then cutting that half circle a little bit and just kind of folding it with my fingers, shaping it with my fingers, because paper you can manipulate it to be different shapes just by pressure with your fingers. So I'm going to glue those lids on. And I want to have at least 5 features on my mask. I want it to be interesting. Mask making has been around for a long, long time, and many cultures make masks. Alright, so now that's dry, and I'm going to cut out some eyebrows. So I've got the shape, now I'm making little cuts in it just for some more detail, and gluing those on above the eyelids. And I'm kind of bending them a little bit, shaping them. I want to have at least 3 things popping off my mask. So on this mask, I've already got eyelids popping off, a nose popping off, and now my eyelids are kind of popping off because I just curved them, folded them just a little bit to give them more texture. So now I'm going to make some eyelashes. So I'm going to start with a rectangle, cut some little slits in that, and I'm going to kind of curl it around a marker just to give them a little bit of curl to them. And I'm going to cut 1/2 of it off just a little bit because your eyelashes are a little bit skinnier where your nose is. So now I'm folding the bottom of the eyelash so I have a little place to glue on. And I'll just apply my glue, put them on my eyelids, hold and press for just a minute or so till they get stuck. And there is my eyelash. Oh, those are amazing. All right, now I'll put my other one on, and it's already coming along. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 things popping off my mask, and I needed 3. But that's okay, because I think the more stuff you have coming off your mask, the more interesting it looks. Now I'm going to do a little bit of design on the cheeks. So in many cultures, the cheeks of a mask will have some type of embellishment. And I was thinking of lightning when I was cutting this. So I'm making 2 of them at once. I've folded the paper in half, cutting them both at the same time, checking for size. And now I'm going to glue the one on, glue the other one on, and those look okay. But again, if you overlap your papers, it tends to be quite a bit more interesting than if you just have one layer of paper. So I'm pressing and holding. And now I'm going to cut another piece of paper that will contrast to the black. This purple's kind of light, so I'm going to cut just a little strip and apply that just to layer it up a little bit. Yes, that looks much more interesting. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a couple techniques on hair. So hair, you can, obviously a lot of times you start with strips. So I'm just cutting a bunch of strips. Oh, that's right, I overlapped the mouth with a little black piece. Okay, taking a look at it, seeing what I need. All right, so now I'm going to cut a bunch of strips up in my paper. And actually what I did here first is I took it and I accordion fold a square. Then once I accordion folded the square of paper, and I had kind of like a little fan, then what I did is I cut the strips out instead of folding each strip one at a time. Okay, so then as I cut these, they kind of fly everywhere, which is kind of amusing. All right, then I'm going to glue these on to the bottom of my mask for like a little beard. And again, you just have to hold them for just a little bit while they set up. And I did 2 layers on the bottom just to get more fullness. And I think the more fullness you put in, the more interesting it tends to look. Okay, so that's an accordion fold for hair. Now I'm going to show you how to do a different type of hair. So here I'm making strips. And each strip here is going to get curled with my scissors. And some of you might know what I'm talking about because you can do this with ribbon, but you can also do it with scissors or with construction paper. So you just hold the scissor, you put the paper in between your thumb and the scissor blade, and you just pull through. And as you pull through, it curls the paper just like it would a ribbon. So now I'm going to glue that to the top of my mask head. And that about rounds it out for this mask design. So you can see there's lots of different designs that you can do. You just want to really be thinking about contrast, getting some lights and darks against each other, and layering your pieces one on top of another to get a more interesting design. You can see all these different examples. Some of them really went crazy with the hair and they look wonderful. You can also cut some holes in your mask if you want it to be functional, or it can just be decorative with no holes in it and it hangs on the wall. Thanks for watching.